No! No! No!
Horror Pop Extravaganza.
What is up, everybody? I'm talking to you and 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 you. Welcome back to another episode of the Horror Pop Extravaganza. Whatever got me some info. I am always your host, Pops Ghostly, and with me, the beautiful, the magnificent, the always flatulent
Lil Duke Spooky.
you in these freeze frames. It's almost like you were a child in the 70s and 80s and shit when they used to freeze frame the end of every movie.
I still freeze frame myself like in the store. Like if I see myself on camera, I'm like,
dude, think about all the amazing freeze frames that we've had, you know, even on the show so far, like Sleepaway Camp, when you have Angela's crazy freeze frame face, Child's Play, when you got little Andy Vincent or whatever, Barkley standing there in the doorway, scared. So many good Friday the 13th freeze frames, Halloween and shit. Maybe not Halloween as much. They did more of the just like leave it open but keep going. But man, we got a good one today for you. Each and every one of you beautiful souls. Each and every one of you beautiful souls. Yes, and remind me, this is your first?
oh yeah. I went into this thing fresh, baby.
Yeah. That's the best way, I think, to go into this thing.
Oh yeah. If you
Not
can
knowing.
wait like 40 years to watch a movie from 1985, I say fucking do it. Just do it. Yeah, it's a commitment, but
That's the beauty of this. Get your gain down just a hair for me. But that's the beauty of this, is that you're gonna, not only you, but the beautiful souls listening to this, you know, maybe some of them haven't seen this movie and do get to experience it for the first time. A 40-year-old movie that, rewatching it, and it's one I've seen many times over the years, but rewatching it, I was like, this really is a bonkers ass idea.
it really is.
Yeah, and it's from one of my personal favorite genre directors, Stuart Gordon, who did stuff like Dolls, From Beyond. On the family side, he did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and then a bunch of the other Shrunk the Kids movies. Castle Freak, which is a really cool old, I think Full Moon distributed that thing. But he did a lot of really fun, just, you know, genre picks, towing on that line of exploitation almost. I don't think this was ever coined a video nasty, but it was right close, you know, about as close as you could get.
Yeah.
And if you didn't read or hear us talk last week, this is Re-Animator from 1985, based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft, who is notorious for not only being a racist, but also for writing, I mean, really some of the biggest kind of like cosmic horror stuff like that. You know, he introduced this idea, I think, of cosmic horror with Cthulhu and these. I read a ton of dude stuff. It's crazy. It's out there. And maybe I'm a little, you know, getting too hard on him, but I know a lot of stuff has come out, you know, over the years about him maybe not liking certain groups of people and shit like that. But
That's what was so great when they did Lovecraft Country. And it was just like all African American cast. Beautiful. Fuck you, H.P. Lovecraft.
yeah, just don't. You know what though? I don't know. Maybe the dude was all day and night long just walking around hating people. But you know, maybe when he was writing, he wasn't in this state of. But either way, this is very loosely tied. Some of his other stuff is a little tighter to the source material, whereas this one, kind of a general idea. And again, not even really an H.P. Lovecraft idea. Is this, you know, most people credit Mary Shelley as being the creator, this teenage girl, dude, who created The Scientist Gone Wrong, who is pursuing essentially the role of God in creation. And that is a lot of what Re-Animator is. Granted, whereas Frankenstein, not so much the 30s version because they just didn't have the time, but the novel, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, has this great pit of just like dichotomy and what it means to be human, and you know, the act of life giving and things like that, but also, you know, you created me, but how can I not have love? You know, you gave me everything but the ability to have this and do that. And it's like, yeah, so there's a lot to dissect there. You get to Re-Animator in 1985. Betas, VHSs are just like ramping up like crazy. The video stores where you go to see like some sick covers, and you pick one and you're like, yeah. Another Stuart Gordon cover that got me a lot was Dolls. I know I mentioned it earlier, or at least I think so. Such a fucking rad movie about killer dolls. But he just he I don't know, he had that eye for fun horror, you know. It's scary, but it can also be campy at the same time, and you can enjoy yourself. And we get that with Re-Animator. And before we do our diving in, I know you're so ready. You're like, I am DB, I am DB, I am DB. So why don't you, yes, get it all out there. We talked a little bit about who made it and stuff, but yeah, man, who's in it? Who directed it and wrote it and all that good things. And then what does IMDb think that Re-Animator from 1985 is all about?
Yeah. Here we go. Let's get right into it with the cast. Jeffrey Combs.
Yes, genre icon. Dude's a G.
I first saw Jeffrey Combs in The Frighteners, dude.
Oh, really? That was the first
Yeah, that was my first time. And when he whips his shirt open and he's got all those like swastikas and stuff like
yeah,
dug into his chest, it's beautiful.
Jeffrey
I guess it's not
Combs,
swastikas. I guess it's like
no, it's he he is such a good character actor, and he did this. Man, it was more recent, maybe within the last 10, 15 years. Like Would You Rather or some shit, where everybody goes to dinner. And he gives them choices like, you know, you either cut his finger off or I'm going to stab you in the eye or something like that. But he plays this like menacing, eccentric millionaire who's just, you know, manipulating the world around him. I've always enjoyed him, though. Anytime dude shows up on screen, I'm here for it. I like Jeffrey Combs.
He's so weird. And this part, like, I wonder how it came across in the script, because this part is so weird, you know, and he almost plays it like he's the hero, but he could be the bad guy.
We'll get to some of that.
We'll get to it. But another guy that killed it in this is Bruce Abbott, dude, playing Dan, the main character. Like
Dan the man. Again, this is a similarity between the original novel. I think there was some kind of character who was the narrator almost. Whereas this, they're super close homies and stuff. I think it was a little more distant in the original writing, but I don't know.
I get it. Like,
yeah.
Do you really want to be homies with your Igor? Like, I don't know.
If it was fucking, what's his name from Young Frankenstein, I would.
Yeah,
He's like,
dude.
no, it's Igor. What hump? I'd be like, you're the funniest motherfucker I ever met in my life, dude.
Yeah, I could hang with that Igor for sure.
Right.
I want to say a very special thank you to Barbara Crampton for being in this movie, for having some of the most obligatory nudity I've ever seen.
Yes.
We here at the Horror Pop Extravaganza salute you, Barbara Crampton, for doing what you do. And I read an interview with her where she was just like, I'd do it right now today. Right. I have no problem with being in nudity as long as it serves the story.
Barbara Crampton, I know you're all excited because she's naked through a lot of this, but for the beautiful souls who aren't just here for the boobies, she is a genre icon. Like, she shows up in even little roles where you don't know, you know, she has a little cameo in somebody's horror movie here because everybody growing up on this kind of stuff remembers her almost like a Dee Wallace. It's like, yo, Barbara fucking Crampton, dude. Like, she's the shit. And she, like you said, you know, she's like, I'll do it right now today. And we'll get to some of the stuff she does. And you're like, holy shit. Like, this is crazy even for 85.
It's totally crazy, but I appreciated it so much, dude. Like, it brought a tear to my eye. I was just like, thank you, nudity. I miss it, dude. I miss it. And I know you're always like, Duke Spooky, why do you love boobies so much? I love boobies, but I also respect boobies. And it's important to put that message out.
That is important.
And that's why it made me feel so good that Barbara Crampton did an interview where she wasn't like no, like they totally like tricked me into doing this. I didn't feel comfortable with it. She
It
was
wasn't like Cannibal Holocaust where old girl was like, they yelled at me in
no.
Italian for 45 minutes and then I just laid there scared.
Yeah, we don't want that. But when it is conceptualized and it is everybody agrees to it, I bless that. I thank that. That is what brings me mindful joy, peace, and happiness. I also saw a little bush, and I'm not going to complain about that either.
There was all kinds of man bush and lady bush.
A lot of people are shocked at Bone Temple and how much just zombie dong was in that. You know, I guess not Bone Temple. What was that first one called? 28 days later.
28 years.
28 years later. Yeah. So much dong in that, and I noticed it too. You can't help. And you wonder, like, those guys are running through the forest. How many guys ate shit and just dug dong into the dirt?
See, and that's where there's this weird split where you'll be like, I salute you for nudity, but then like the penis comes out and you're not saluting as fast.
I also salute the penis. I was just going to say, that big dude with the giant dong. I don't know your name, sir, but I'm sure we'll say it on this podcast at one point. I salute you.
There was an article. All I read was the headline. It was like, that one character is back in Bone Temple and he's out again, or he's fully, whatever. But yes, it's we should be equal opportunity nudists. And
this had that in this movie, because there was just as much.
And that's what Greasy Strangler has. It has.
Gross, dude. That's the thing, is that this nudity was pretty nice. Like the female.
All right. Please continue.
Let's just do a podcast about nudity. Can we please?
I'm sure there's so many podcasts that are like just on like so and so nude in a movie, like nude scenes in the movies. I have no doubt.
If it hasn't been started, I should start it.
You should. I don't want to go on that journey with you, but
I understand.
Unless you bring in like for the Wiener episodes, maybe the strange the aliens. We've seen aliens.
Alien dong, dude. Hell yeah, dude. We'll do it all. I'm equal opportunity.
Dude, what's his name from Ozymandias from Watchmen?
Dude. No, Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan, yeah.
Just huge blue Smurf dong, dude. Just swinging over Vietnam, dude. We could talk about that all day. I know you like to keep this podcast classy, but we need to get in the dirt one of these days, dude, and just talk about dongs.
Listen, this story would take a little while, but one day when we have the opportunity, remind me to tell you about Adam Sandler talking about his wife and his daughters talking about proper penis size, and his daughters ended up asking him. And there's a great story from when I seen him live, but at the end of the day, they're like, well, what would it look like on an animal? And he's like, on a hornet, it would be like dragging on the ground. That hornet would barely be able to get off. He's like, on a horse, it will probably hide in the stall and cover itself. Right. But anyway, okay. So continue with the IMDb, please.
What I was going to say is I recently, because we like to talk about recent subjects as well, I watched the new Running Man last night. And that man, 0% body fat, just naked as fuck through that whole movie, dude. My wife was just glistening over there, dude. Like we got to replace our couch after watching that last night.
But yes, and I'm excited about the new Running Man. One, because I really like him as an actor. I think dude is super solid, and I like the original Running Man. The story, the Stephen King shit.
Well, if you like that, you're not going to like this new one. But
is it pretty different than the?
It's unfortunately different.
Okay. All right, we'll talk about that later. Let's get into Re-Animator.
Let's talk about another male specimen, David Gale.
Yes, dude. Yes.
He should win the award for most expressive face acting in this.
Most expressive face acting ever. Especially the situations that we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. We don't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
We don't want to ruin it. All right, let's talk about some other people. Nobody else was in this movie worth talking about. I mean, there are some people, but let's just get down to what IMDb says this movie's about, because this is wild, folks.
Okay.
All right, here we go. You ready for this?
Yeah.
After an odd new medical student arrives on campus, A dedicated local and his girlfriend become involved in bizarre experiments centering around the reanimation of dead tissue.
That does not
What?
prepare you for what you're getting into. That
No.
doesn't even
No.
come this close to preparing you for what you're going to get into.
Nope.
We open right up, though, and this always bothers me because we open up with this really cool fucking title sequence with all kinds of brains and words and stuff.
Yeah.
But the music is the intro from Psycho.
I was like, wow, this is great music.
Dun, dun,
I was like, oh, I've heard this
dun,
before.
dun, dun, dun.
I was like, this must have been on one of my like Halloween soundtracks or something. No, it's straight out of Psycho. That's where
And he even said in the interview, the dude that made the music, they were like, hey man, like a lot of people say this shit sounds like Psycho. And all he said was no coincidence there. And I was
yeah,
like,
at least he admitted it. Like he didn't pull a Vanilla Ice and be like, no, it's dun 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 but a bum bum.
right.
It's different. Yeah.
It's so different. Whereas, yeah, but it's hard for me because I'm like, dude, and then I start hearing Psycho so much in my head that when it changes, I'm like, that's not right.
Now, see, I'm not like, I don't have that ear that you have where I was like, oh, it's a little bit different. I was like, did they just straight up rip this off?
And I think that's what most people would feel. They would be like, holy shit, guy, this is.
Yeah.
But, and that's, the score is very string heavy, like Psycho was. It's just kind of is what it is. But that's really one of my only complaints about the majority of the entirety of this movie. I don't recall when I saw it the first time. And I don't even know if I saw the original first, if I saw Bride Re-Animator or Beyond Re-Animator. I don't remember what order I saw them in, but I know that coming back to the first one, it's just a fucking gem in my eyes in a lot of ways.
It's a treat.
And we open up, you say this crazy medical student, he's in Switzerland. We just open up on this medical school in Switzerland. You hear yelling and shit. They're like, oh, doctor, run for the doctors. They go in there, and you've got Jeffrey Combs, who just slays, dude. He slays playing this completely apathetic to the world, man of science, very Victor Frankenstein after he had kind of become consumed by this stuff. But we see him in there, and then we see this other dude who we don't even really know, whose eyes are all jacked up and his face starts pulsing out everywhere. And this is our first, I think, big indicator that we're going to get, this is Brain Dead, and this is Evil Dead. This is comedy mixed with horror. This isn't going to be spooky, this, that, or the other, or Return of the Living Dead. This is more like that. And it continues to amp up so much throughout the thing where you're just like, holy shit. And he's like, I can save him. And then I think we cut to the title card. Maybe it was a cold open, and then we have the title card, and then we get to America, where our Dr. West had just come over from Switzerland, where he was working with this famous, who we learn was the guy who died.
Right.
The doctor whose face exploded, and even the one nurse gets blood sprayed all over her face.
It was just a little squirt of blood. Yeah. I was like, is this where we're going to be? Nope. They go harder. They start low, and then the squirting gets more.
Yes. We get to America, and we're introduced to Dr. And I can't remember his name in this.
Dan. Dr. Dan. That's all we need to know.
No. The head guy who gets all the grants and stuff like that.
Oh, that Hornswoggler?
Yeah. Him, the guy in the head who you said should get an award for
Dr. Carl Hill.
Dr. Hill. So Dr. Hill is this prestigious guy, and we're getting into the gore really quick. He's like, this is how you open a brain up and shit to look at it, peel it off like an orange, ha 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 ha. And they meet Herbert West, and West is immediately with Dr. Hill like, bro, your research is outdated, you ain't shit. He's like, oh, what was your name again? I don't know. Oh yeah, I read your stuff, but I barely remember it.
Which is not a good way to go in your first day of school.
But that's what I love about this dude is he is just so tunnel vision, doesn't like care. And he did come from this place with this doctor where they had reanimated. At least we kind of believe at this point that they had reanimated some dead flesh. The doctor's like, even when West is in his class, he's like, it's only 6 to 12 minutes is as long. And he's like snapping pencils and shit. And he's like, Mr. West, I think it would behoove you to buy a pen. And he's like, I think it would behoove you to shut the fuck up. But we do meet, like you said, we did meet Dan, I think, earlier, though, because he's
they come in right in. He's in the middle of giving chest compressions, dude. Pop, pop, pop.
Oh,
just
that's
titties
right.
flapping everywhere. Right. And I was just like, oh, no.
And he really is the antithesis of West. West is all about death, whereas Dan is very uncomfortable even in the morgue. He has to wheel this body in, and the hand falls out, and he doesn't like it, doesn't want to touch it. Whereas Herbert West is like, I just love dead things.
What I want is an entire separate Re-Animator movie about the fucking security guard that sits outside of the morgue smoking cigars and reading porn. Dude, that guy I want to know about.
And you have so much security guard experience that you could fucking write that in a dream, dude.
I always have sympathy for the security guard, but this guy, like, he deserved to die, and he, don't want to spoiler alert, but he doesn't die.
Right, which is amazing. So they do, like, she walks up to him as he's pinning this thing on the wall. They kiss a couple times. We jump to them doing it. She gets out of bed. And the nice thing with this movie is that everybody can act. It is meant to be a little bit campy, but it never feels that, like, we were trying to make a serious movie and made a B movie. It's like we knew exactly what the fuck we were making and put the right people in the right places to make this all work. Because Barbara Crampton sells this, he's like, I want to move in together because her and Dan are together. And her dad is the head of the medical school, I guess, where they all go. And
no, if you want to get ahead in life.
Right. Big no. He shows up when she's at the house. They're just hanging out. Or this is right after they got done doing it or something. And he just knocks on the door.
She literally pulls her panties on, and there's a knock at the door, dude. Right. And it's West. And he's like, I got your thing. I want to move in. We should be roommates. And I don't know about you, dude, but I'm a little more selective when it comes to, like, who's gonna live with me.
She tries to,
she's like, Dawn.
Now, to be fair, this dude had already met West in the morning, and the dean or whoever, the guy was like, West is a brilliant. They're both in the same 3 years of medical school and shit like that. So it's not like he, like, smells like trash and came in and was like shooting heroin right before he walked in. Was like, hey.
True, but he has been breaking pencils in class and, like, pissing off the teacher.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
But you're right. She is suspect, though. She's suspect right away. She's like, this dude, there's something a little bit off, man. We can't. And he just sees the fat knot of cash, and he's like, I need that money, though.
That's
like,
true.
You know what I mean? I'll live with a weirdo for the money. Like, I will do that. And Wes wants the basement, though. He sees the basement, and he's like, oh, I'm going to set up shop down here. I promise you never blah, blah, blah. Just don't come in my room and shit. And he's like, okay, dude, bet. Everything's okay. They got this cat, Rufus. Wes continues to pressure the head doctor guy while setting up. And my favorite thing about this is the serum is just this neon green glowing liquid.
Like right out of a glow stick, dude. And that's
100%.
what's on the fucking cover for the movie. Is just that big old syringe of green shit. And you're like, yes, dude.
Like, we're doing this. We're
in the 80s, dude, anything that had glowy slime, I was on board.
100%. And this is that.
I still am.
100%. I'm with you. I
love it. Every scene of him slowly pulling the fluid out, I'm like, yeah, get it.
And then he's so lackadaisical with it. He's just dumping the shit on the counter as he's getting all excited about injecting things. She is really worried about this dude. Other dude doesn't start to figure it out until the cat goes missing.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, where's Rufus? I'm never over here, and he's not knocking some shit down and whatever, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I don't know. You know that cat. He takes off and stuff. She's like, no, I usually at least hear him, blah, blah, blah. They start looking around for the cat. Don't know where West is. They start poking around in his room, and his, room is super creepy, and he's got stuff everywhere, glowy little tubes and objects and things. And she opens the refrigerator and finds the cat in the fridge. And she's like, oh, yeah. He comes walking in. What are you doing in my room? I told you never to go in my room. Blah, 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 blah. And the other dude comes in, and West is quick to spit this story. He's like, I found the cat dead. He got his head stuck in a jar and suffocated. I didn't want to tell you. He even plays him. He's like, what do I do? Leave a note that says cat dead, details later. He's like, I was going to tell you, man. I was
So
going
I put it next to my Mr. Pibb. It's fine.
Right.
It'll stay fresh in there forever.
Right. And he's like, I was bodies and things. I was doing scientist things. You know that, man. What do you? And he's like, yeah, I guess you're kind of right. And
Yeah, I would do that too, I guess, if it was your cat.
Right.
Put him in my fridge next to the leftovers.
Oh. And not long after that, he brings the cat. Dan hears a ruckus going on in the basement.
Yeah.
And he goes down to see.
Red flag, dude. If on your first night together, you hear your roommate screaming.
I don't think it was the first night. I think they had been together maybe a night or two, but still.
Even then, red flag, red flag, red flag. Problem. I mean, didn't this dude see Pacific Heights?
Right.
Yeah.
And he does. What was that other movie? Jennifer 8? You remember that shit from the crazy roommate
Jennifer 8, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So white female. There's so many of those fucked up roommate things.
Right.
This could have been that, but it kind of
didn't go in that direction all the way.
No.
However, he goes downstairs to see what the ruckus is, and we see this awesome just cat. Jeffrey Combs
fucking bringing it, dude, with this fake ass cat.
Yes, with that Bruce Campbell level of just like
Totally.
bringing the body humor into it. And he's got this cat on his back, and he's like, fuck. And then they're chasing the cat around this place. They're smacking it, throwing it against the wall, and
They
shit.
throw it at the wall, dude, and it's just blood splat on the wall. Just nasty. And I was like, damn, dude, this is 85.
Right. They were going real hard, like, throw that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
just fucking pitch it Nolan Ryan style, dude, right at the wall.
And it does. You're right. And there's like a perfect head spot of blood. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like, that cat was dead. And I brought it back to life to show you that I could bring things back to life. And he's like, no, you just lowered his body temperature and got it to play dead and all these things. And he's like, okay. He's like, I'll show you right now. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, you're going to help me if I show you. And he's like, what do you mean I'm going to help you? He's like, oh, you're helping me. He's like, this is going to be the biggest breakthrough in science, ever.
Yo, me's going to be best friends.
Right. He's like, death is an illusion. We're going to
In
live
the meantime,
forever.
there's just this pizza of a cat sitting in front of him. It's
And
just
even
toast.
before he goes to inject it, he's like, the cat's back is broken, so don't expect it to jump up and attack you anymore.
Yeah. Nobody in this thinks about, like, maybe we should restrain these fuckers before we hit them with the glow juice.
And right. And the cat comes back to life. Great puppet, you know what I mean, on both sides. This cat is literally broken in half.
Just
It's
fucked up teeth. Like,
and he's like, oh shit, you really can bring things back to life. And he's like, all right, now you're gonna help me. We're gonna sneak into the morgue. And meanwhile, I think he had gone over to pick her up at her dad's house, and they're getting suspect about Dan hanging out with Wes now, and that she might be hanging out by proxy or something like that.
we get that scene at the dinner too, where Dr. Hill is kind of creepy.
Oh,
And he's like, you should have like a lot of alcohol before you go out. Maybe just don't go out. Maybe just hang out here instead.
dude, he's so disgusting.
So disgusting.
I mean, truly a piece of filth. And we'll get some more of that. But he comes to pick her up, and everybody's worried about West and all this shit. But yeah, fuck this guy's. And Dan's kind of in on it with him now. He's like, okay, I'll get you in. And he hides him on a gurney and wheels him into the morgue. And the plan is what they get in there. He's like, we just have to try it on a human subject, demonstrate that there's some form of cognition. Then that'll give us the funding. That's his logic. We got to tell him we broke into the morgue, started fucking playing with dead bodies, and one of them started twitching, and they're going to give us.
I got to tell you, I've worked in a lot of hospitals. I've been in the morgue.
Yeah.
Their feet don't hang out the bottom.
Right.
That's a trope that's not real.
Which is great, though, because I love the little scene with him putting his socks back on real quick. Like,
Dude, that went really long. Like, they just hold on him while he puts his whole shoes and socks back on. And I was like,
but they're
way to
talking
go.
about, I think they were given some exposition there. But either way,
exposition. But
they want to inject somebody to see if this thing will work. And they're
the freshest one.
And they're looking at toe tags. And the freshest one is Lou Ferrigno straight off of the Incredible Hulk.
You know, that was Arnold's stunt double for reals.
For
All
real?
the way up until Jingle All the Way
Stop.
was his stunt double. Yeah, I was like, dang.
Wait, Lou Ferrigno or the guy in...
No.
I was going to say not Lou Ferrigno, but this guy?
The dude, the dead body in this movie was Arnold's stunt double from Terminator.
No, listen, no shit. It reminded me of T2. His ass reminded me of T2.
You can spot a dude's ass, dude. You nailed it, dude. Also,
Like,
the building that they're
remind
in.
me of the bar scene in Terminator. I was like,
100%, dude.
Yeah,
It was
the
that
way he
ass,
moves.
dude.
Yeah, the way
See,
he
you know a
moves.
dude's ass when you see
even
one.
his walking though, like you said, the structure, his shoulders are just
When he
massive.
grabs the dude and lifts him up, yeah, I was
Right.
like, that's Arnold, 100%. Also, the building they're in was Mile Dyson's office. Also,
Sick, dude.
yeah, it's in
Sweet
Pasadena.
T2 pulls.
Yeah,
They find the guy, like you said, and it's this big, humongous, muscle bound, naked dude. And they inject him. At first, nothing's happening. He's recording on the thing. Time is 10:00 something something. And then he just pops up like, bro. And he's got a neck like a tree trunk. And
Yeah, it is.
he's starting to look demented. There's dark veins and stuff in his face. And then it's almost like that scene in Eastern Promises where Vigo's fighting all them dudes naked in the sauna. This guy's just throwing people all over the place, banging people around on the wall. The dean comes in and he starts like crushing his head on the wall. He's just smashing him against the wall. Bang, 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 bang. They're like, oh no, we got to get this guy. Put him down. The guard outside, after they finally get this dude subdued, or maybe the guard had gone somewhere. He's like, I'm going to go get
every
a cup of coffee.
time somebody shows up to the morgue, the guard's like, I'm out. Somebody's in there. I ain't got to worry about these bodies. I'm going. And that one time he's reading his porno, dude, and the person goes in there. He's like, break time.
Right.
And I was like, that dude's jerking off at work.
I know where the quiet bathroom is, where nobody really goes.
Down by the morgue, dude. No one's using that shitter, dude. Fuck that.
All them ghosts are just looking
all
over your shoulder at your porno, like
He's just in there
oh, well.
with his cigar, dude.
But this dude, right, is still smoking it. This guy comes in and gets killed. The dad gets killed right there. They subdue the other dude. But once security comes back and everybody's there, they're like, I don't know. He came in and was trying to attack us and all this shit. Again, Wes is just spitting lies.
He's a great liar, dude. And he just comes up with the craziest bullshit story. Like, I don't think this guy was dead. He was knocked out. You brought him in. He came out and started going nuts. I had to fucking stab him with that circular saw all the way through his chest. It was the only thing I could do.
That's right. It comes straight out through the front of him, that bone saw. He's just... And so now we inject dad to try and keep him alive before the daughter finds out. And he goes full on, like, kind of psycho. Did they knock him down? And then I just remember we jumped to when he's in a straitjacket.
Yeah. But what I loved is, like, this last scene we saw him in was, like, he was in his office and he was this prim, proper, like, guy. And he was, like, firing the dude. He was like, you don't go to school here anymore. I've heard enough.
Right.
Good day, sir. Good day. And then the next scene, he's just blood on his face, dribbling. His hair's all crazy. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, this guy's a good actor, dude. He deserves an Emmy.
Aren't Emmys TV?
It's for TV, but that's why. He doesn't deserve an Oscar, but an Emmy.
Oh, I got you. Okay. But you're right. He does this crazy transformation, and Dr. Hill's all into this now. He's like, what is the, magic formula and shit like that. West, because she had seen the cat too. She had seen the cat. Barbara Crampton saw the cat when they were doing that. But now her dad is gone. Dr. Hill convinces her to sign off on treatment that he's going to cut. She's like, I don't even want to know what you're going to do. Just here, yes, you have my permission. He's like, good.
Yeah. And his whole idea is just like burn through their skull with a laser. That's that's his jam.
Modern lobotomies.
Totally modern lobotomy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he... After she signs off on the thing, he determines that he's going to go to West figure this out or he's going to blackmail him and get him, thrown into prison, jail, whatever like that. He's like, you're going to give me whatever this is you're working on.
Right.
And he's reading through the journal and he's like, oh, make it glow green, glow brighter. This is crazy. And behind him, Wes comes up and just like fucking thwunk and then cuts his head just single
right
slice.
Off. Yeah.
Yeah. Straight through his neck bone. Immediately takes the head and props it up in a tray with some solution of the bring you back to life shit, and then injects a little bit into the body. So you've got the head that starts coming back to life. This is so good. This head talking and stuff is just
I love
amazing.
it, dude.
Yeah. Totally here for it.
Never once thought like, how's he talking without a throat?
Right. Or lungs for air or anything like that.
But he's just like,
yeah. And he starts scheming. The head starts scheming right away. And I always loved the gag of head with no body that can still control the body and is trying
100%. The body's kind of dumb.
Right.
And he's just like, stupid body.
Right. But
that was my favorite, dude.
This body and him start scheming. They end up knocking out West while Dan and I can't remember Barbara Crampton's character's name, but Barbara Crampton are searching for more information about what might be going on. They go to the doctor's private office and shit like that. He finds the creepiest folder ever. Meg was her name because I think that's what it was on the
right.
And if I'm wrong, whatever. But they find her folder and it's got pieces of her hair and used napkins and all kinds of shit. The
like a
doctor,
booger in a fucking
right. First tampon ever.
Yeah, he just smells it. Oh yeah, that's fresh.
But we're starting to get the idea that Dr. Hill is a fucking awful.
I think that the only reason he wants the Re-Animator stuff, dude, is so he can get with her.
Right. Because that we learned was his intentions. He gave her dad the lobotomy in order to somehow he figures out he can control him, but not before he gets to the morgue because he's got to build his dead body army. And he gets to the morgue so good, dude. He just tapes a fucking mannequin head on his, puts it on the top of his head.
The best, dude.
It just goes wheeling in. And you're right. Like the security
and
guard.
He fools that guard.
Boudoir, right. He's over there reading boudoir. And he just kind of wanders in and he's like, is that you, Dr. Hill? And he's like, hey. Yeah, okay. Have a good night.
All right, I'm going to break.
Right. You can. He gets into the morgue, puts the head back down. And the body's now controlling. And the body, I don't remember how it gets her. Or she just ends up going down there. I don't remember how she ends up there. Because West wakes up and Dan finds him at home. And he's like, everything's gone. All my research, everything. Yeah. The glowy. And he's like, what the fuck do you mean? He's like, I don't know. Him with no head took it. Let's go find the Headless Horseman. And they take off. And I think that's when they're going to the lab. They're
he sends dad. He sends dad out to get her. And because that whole time I was like, all right, again, I want all the side stories are what I want to learn about. Like I want to see how this fucking dude took like a bus to get to her house and just like came in and she was like, Dad, where have you been?
Dude, it was like Poultrygeist. You remember when the turkey put the mustache on? Dad, I missed you so much.
It was totally that, dude.
Killing,
and then he just like carries her back like Bride of Frankenstein and just tears her clothes off, dude. She's just naked as naked could be. And they're the only time they restrain one of these fucking things is when they restrain her.
Right.
But then he's
kind of like clumsily doing it. The body is trying to do it while the head is like,
the head's all, oh yeah. Like trying to look at her boobies over the tip of the fucking thing. He's like,
now, the way you talk though, that would be your head. That would be your head. Like
I would crawl over the top of my tongue.
Looking like the thing from The Thing, just cross spider legs so you can
totally, dude. I'd figure out. But this movie actually takes it to a place that made me feel like vomit come up into my throat. Yes. I was like, too far.
Right. And that's what I like about it, though, because it's not just gratuitous nudity. They force you to almost question, like, oh, fuck. Like, why am I enjoying? You know what I mean?
It makes the nudity gross. Exactly, dude.
Which is kind of awesome because I think her nudity No, not
I
like
only
awesome
like
the
gross
fact that it's
nudity.
gross, but I think the fact that it's presented in both ways. Like her nudity at the beginning is much more real. She's just like
100%.
side boob as she's getting dressed or something like that. It's,
Yeah.
natural in its natural state, and it's almost like pretty. Like it was never glorified one way or the other. But
Yeah.
they really make you question, like, oh, how much you like this gratuitous nudity? Like that so much? I'm gonna gross you the fuck out.
That's what I don't like, dude, is when they turn it against me and then they make me feel gross. And I'm like, hey, I didn't come here to feel gross and be fucking judged. I came here to have a good time and see a booby or two.
So why don't you tell all the beautiful souls listening about what this?
You're gonna leave this part up to me? What the fuck? All right, let's do it.
Listen. When I was watching it, I was like, "Fuck, Lil Duke Spooky's gonna be fucked up by this." I said, "This is gonna fuck him up," because it still fucks with me, dude. I know it's coming every time. It's like the end of
100%.
Sleepaway Camp. Like I know Lil Angela's gonna have a little dick out there and shit, and it's gonna be terrifying. The end of this sequence right here, I'm like, "Oh fuck," and they just keep going, and it's like, "Oh, so
dude.
please, sir, proceed."
So she wakes up. There she is. Boobies out. But the guy's like, he's totally grossing out on her. She wakes up. She's like freaked out because she sees the dude with the fucking fake head. And she's like, ah! Then she kicks it and it falls off. And then she's like, ah! Then she looks
The
over.
attention to detail here was so good though, because the little neck stem and everything.
100%. Yeah. You see his bloody little neck stem, the top of his spine hanging out. She's freaking out. She's like, ah, shit. She realizes she's naked. She's like, oh no, this is bad. Then she looks over and sees the guy's head in a pan, and he's like, and she's like,
starts telling her, dude. He starts telling her, he's like, I loved you for so long.
So then the body picks up the head, dude, and gets it close to her, and she's just repulsed, dude. And he's like licking her ear, and she's freaking out, dude. And then he like brings it up, tries to kiss her, and he's like, I've always admired your beauty. So gross, dude. She's like, bleh, bleh.
We're all
Then
like,
it gets worse. It gets worse. Then he's like, body, put me down toward the booby.
dude.
And she's like, no, not my booby. And he's like, on her nipple, dude. How weird. Then I'm thinking, like, okay,
Dude, when
so
they
they're
show
filming
that,
this.
when they show that mid shot though, and it looks like he's gonna stick the head between her legs, I was like,
Dude, that was when I was like, okay, stop.
right, you can't.
This is no dirty, gross. Kind of cool, but gross. Yeah, for sure. He was gonna put his like bloody mouth down on her cooter
Yeah,
place.
but that's
For
not
half a
before.
Thank goodness it was stopped before Beefcake in the white tank top shows up, looking beefy as fuck. I'm like, whoa, Dr. Bro's been working out. But the weird thing is he's a total puss. He gets beat up by just
right.
all over here. But let's bring it back to Pops.
Yes. So you get this really odd, just bizarre sequence, and
There's
get
an unrated cut. I'm sure you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Did they take that scene further?
I don't know if it goes. I don't remember. I probably didn't look. I was probably.
I appreciate the cutaway. I do.
Yeah. There's certain things you just can't take. Yeah, there's certain things you just don't do.
Don't
they
be
show
broke.
up. So Dan and West show up. They start fighting against him, but then he lets everyone know that through the lobotomies, he's now able to have a hive mind with all of the other things that he's injected with the serum, this glow juice. So we get naked zombie monster reanimated fight all over.
So much naked, dude. I didn't even know this existed in the world. And it does. There's a nakeder movie than 28 years later.
Right. So much naked in this movie. And it's kind of wonderful that they're just all like, but it's not like,
It
sexy.
wasn't all
It's not
hot ladies
sexy.
either.
No, it's not sexy naked.
It's
like
everybody
we're falling
style.
apart, and every body style is here. We are equal opportunity body shapes.
100%.
Then we get this awesome fight going on in the morgue. Wes doesn't die, but does he get knocked out? I can't.
There's
remember.
a lot of head pounding, and then
Right.
and then there's the spot like the cat.
Right.
They really liked that shot, and they do it over and over again. But Wes and Dan get the shit kicked out of them by these zombies.
and she starts like they're getting ready to kill her or something, and she's like, "Dad, it's me, Megan." Ah! And he's like, "Ah!" And he starts going after the other guy, which is really cool when they kill this dude off because he grabs his fucking head and just starts squeezing the eyeballs, but then all the other ones, their eyeballs start
And they're all
going,
like,
and they're just smashing around everywhere. And then we see Dan and Meg escape, but
I'll never be mad at a zombie on zombie fight, dude.
right. Always
It's
a
like
good time.
sharks on zombies. Shit, dude.
I need to watch that new shark thing on Shudder, the Beast or
Oh
something.
yes, me too.
Yeah, we should check
Yeah.
that out. And I mean, you both the fans of the sharks. So Dan and Meg escape, but I think Wes gets like knocked out or something because he comes
There's
back.
something with it. Like I think it's acid, and the one zombie lady like breaks it, and then it starts releasing gas.
Yeah,
And he's in the gas, and then the dude splits apart, and his fucking intestines come out and strangle Wes, and Wes is all like,
that's right. He's fighting with his guts. His guts
Yeah.
come slinging out and attack him. Man, you're right. 85 fucking showed up, dude. It
That's
was like-
wild, dude. I just watched this for the first time in my life. This just happened to me.
which is so good. I'm so
It's
excited
crazy,
about
dude.
that. So he gets left down there, and then we got to get to a hospital, and Dan's trying to save Meg.
And again, he comes out of the elevator, dude, with Meg, and he's got his coat around her, and he turns her, dude, and they just full asshole to the camera. And I was like, dang, Barbara Crampton. It's for the story.
Just didn't care, dude. Or some
didn't
people
care,
just
dude.
aren't so taboo about it, and they're like, whatever, man. And they get
Seriously,
One
dude.
of my
I
favorite
fling balls.
lines- Listen, one of my favorite lines ever in cinema is Viggo Mortensen saying, "It's just a penis." When fucking now I can't even think of the movie, Fantastic or something, Captain Fan. I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about when he's standing there in the RV and shit. And I think that's so good because we're so prudish about it as a Western audience about a dick. But you could see, and she probably like, whatever, dude. It's just my body. Like, it
Dude,
doesn't-
I was 5 years old, and I was staying in a trailer park, vacationing, not living there. I'm not like Alicia.
Wait,
so,
okay, so you guys vacationed at the trailer park, though. I like how you said that. We were there vacationing, not living, motherfucker. So that's where you went
Yeah.
when you weren't living, when you were where you were living. That's where you went.
yeah,
to
when we would leave our trailer where we lived, we would go stay at a nicer one that we rented.
Okay,
But I'm
okay.
5 years old. I meet these little girls at the park, not the park, but like the playground
I
at
know
the
what you
trailer
mean,
park.
the little courtyard. Yeah,
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, if you guys want to hang out later, you should come by my trailer and check me out. So I forget that I've given this invite. I'm taking a little shower. I'm 5, 6 years old. Somebody knocks on the door. I assume it's my grandpa or something. So I fucking open the door, dude. Full 5-year-old dong hanging out. And it's these two little girls.
Oh, that's a nice.
Just fucking wrecked, dude. But you know what? Their lives were ruined. But what I realized is that it's just a penis. And that's the moral of that story. All right, continue.
I like how you said though, like I could have taken that so many places when you were like, I heard it the knock at the door, and I just assumed it was Grandpa because he always came in when I showered.
Yeah, man. See, you get it. Read between the lines of the story.
Question behind the question. Okay, so he gets her to the hospital, and we get a recreation of the opening scene with him trying to save a life, and this nurse saying, "Man, I'm sorry." Like, you know,
Same nurse is just
Right.
like, Doc, just let it go, man.
That's what
He
she's almost
barely
seems
even
there
started.
for. Right. She seems there just to tell him, like, stop.
She's just like, stop. We don't save anybody here. We have a terrible track record.
That's not what this hospital is for.
No, there's a morgue
Do you
downstairs.
see how
We got to
fucking
fill our
full the
quota.
morgue is? Yeah, the morgue
Yeah,
is
dude,
super
full as fuck.
And so he takes her to this, you know, he's got her in the bed and shit, and he lays her down, and he's all sad, like, I love you, and blah, 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 blah. And then he pulls out the... Dun, dun, dun.
Like, what was he thinking, dude? That's never worked out for anybody.
Right. Pet Cemetery.
Pet
Didn't-
Cemetery. No, dude.
And we'll get into some more of that, maybe, in the Pause for the Living. So
Return of the
I'll talk-
Living Dead 3.
Oh, dude, that one was the most traumatic when she's like, I just need to feel something.
Yeah.
Oh, such a good movie though. That's
So good, dude. Better than it should have been.
Yeah, that's the best of the Return of the Living Deads for me. That one just shines. Just shines.
100%.
So, especially like that Mexican gang and shit. I forgot all about
Oh, dude,
now
it's
I'm
so
like kind of
good.
like playing the movie a little bit in my head. I was like, oh yeah,
So good.
yeah, so good. So we get the freeze frame on the needle. He's like, I love you so much. And, this movie is very much the Frankenstein story in so many ways.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we
100%.
see how it's almost like Lord of the Rings, the power of the ring corrupts you. There's no way. There's very few who can, and the one ring you just got to get rid of. Hope you got somebody strong enough to get it there, but not even they could hang on to it, for more than the couple years it took to get to Mordor or whatever. But he's in that place. Same thing as the end of.
Does it take years to get to Mordor?
Yeah, it was
I
a
thought
few
it was
years.
just like a couple weeks, dude.
No, why do you think Clerks 2 was like that? And he's like, it's because if you read the books, it's 2 years of walking around and shit. But
Oh, shit.
it might even be
Take
a
a
little more than
taxi.
2 years. But I know it is
horse.
a length of time because they stayed, in some places, for lengths of time while they were healing up and doing all this. And it was just a long way away. And they had little hobble feet, dude.
Little feet.
Yeah.
Well, big feet, but little legs. That doesn't go good together.
Master Frodo, oh, my legs hurt, Frodo.
Seriously. Ask Gandalf for his fucking cart, dude.
Right, or Shadowfax, dude. Be like, let me get that fastest ass horse ever. But this is that, like, the power corrupts. Even it gets Dan at the end. He's kind of stuck in this position of like, I would give anything. It's what turned Anakin Skywalker into Darth Vader was that But we get this freeze frame, and then it just kind of fades to black outside of the little green glow. And it was such a, like, your favorite thing, the green glow, is the last thing you see, the last frame
literally.
you see before you get to directed by Stuart Gordon and then everybody that's in it. But do you have any final thoughts before we get into the rating of Re-Animator from 1985?
Sure do love the boobs in this one.
But
But it's just a penis.
That should be a t-shirt with just your face. Sure do love the boobs in this one. Sell out so fast. All the Lil Duke Spooky fans out there feel like
both of you guys would really love it. Oh shit.
Yeah, you could like rent out a booth at IHOP and everybody could have a collective meeting.
Let's eat some pancakes, talk about boobies.
Put your
Duke Spooky fan club.
Put your piece of banana on that pancake to look like a nipple. That's hilarious. Okay, dude. So, out of 5 reanimated broken back cats, how many do you give Re-Animator?
I give this 4 stars, dude. I'll watch this again for sure. Not just for the boobies either. I love the boobies. But this movie, this is what horror should be, dude. Ape shit fucking crazy.
You know what's funny is I came into this after rewatching it just now too. I was like, dude, 4 out of 4. Like if dude wouldn't have straight sold the Psycho score, or taken that like plagiarized Psycho, because that always trips me up every time I watch this movie.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
almost like I forget, and then I'm like, oh yeah.
And they reuse it right there at the end in case you forgot.
Right, in case you forgot anything about it. But I'm with you. It's a 4. It's fun. It's obnoxious. It's that cusp line, I think, for a lot of people. If you wanted to, like, man, I don't know if I want to watch a trauma movie or, something crazy. This is like that comfortable safe space where you can, the boundaries get pushed just to that respectable level. Even though, like you said, maybe sometime we'll talk about Castle Freak on the show, because that Stuart Gordon was never shy about doing, like, making you feel uncomfortable in sex. And I think it's good because we've become a culture where violence is almost always associated with sex. It's like, a couple teen kids, especially in horror, a couple teen kids do it and then slash. You're in the shower, you're naked, this kind of erotic, this image to evoke eroticism, and then it's like you're bleeding out everywhere and your guts are hanging all over. Whereas this is more like, sex isn't always just, something that's pretty and nice. Like, it can be really fucking uncomfortable, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to make you feel that. And He just passed away not too long ago. Stuart Gordon, 2 or 3 years ago, maybe.
R.I.P. Stuart Gordon.
Yeah, dude. A good friend of mine out in California. He worked with his daughter, I think.
Oh.
And yeah, had nothing but good shit.
Did he come back for the sequels?
I know, but the producer directed the sequels. So the Brian used, I can't remember the dude's name that's on the title card, but he took on the 2 sequels. And they're fun, you know, especially.
Do they start up with Barbara Crampton coming back?
I'm not. You just go find.
I would have to watch it.
Go find Bride of Re-Animator and just go into it blind, dude. I don't even want to tell you, And then you've got the third one. Yeah, it's with a lot of things, by the time you get to a third movie and stuff, but it still has its merits. But this first one to me is just like, man, you made a powerful statement with this piece of cinema, in a cool way. And it's fun. I don't know why it's fun, but it's just fun. It's a great movie. Okay. So next week, shoot, I don't even know what we got going on next week.
I mean, we could go. I saw that Bone Lake is streaming. I added that to my my stuff.
I know a couple people have told me about that Together.
I heard about Together.
Happen. Yeah, let's make that happen.
All right,
let's make Together happen. That'll force me to watch it. So sweet. We'll do that next time. I'm not sure where that's streaming at. It's relatively new. You can rent it. But I think
it's HBO Max.
Maybe. I thought I looked for it on there, but I could be wrong. But yes, it is relatively new, and I've heard nothing but like, man, it's a wild ride and some cool stuff. And I'm always here for that. And then I know Chelsey, CeeWolf her and I have a couple plans to do some stuff, and then B Money and I and all of us have been kind of talking about opening up the gaming channel a little bit. Everybody here at the HP Manor is a gamer in one form or another, and we can just do some live streams and stuff like that, and just expand a little bit that way, and just continue to share the stuff we're doing, with people, and hopefully you enjoy it and take something positive away from it. So the pause for the living. I was thinking about this, and I tried to make it relevant with Dawn of the Dead, and CeeWolf killed it on that episode. It's a fun one. If you haven't had a chance to listen to that yet, be sure to check it out. Talking about the social commentary, that Romero was doing when 78 Dawn of the Dead came out. And I was like, it's kind of fun, and I try sometimes, not always, but to tie it into the movie. And this one was really pretty easy to extrapolate an idea from. And I think you nailed it on the head when you said it never goes good when you try to play God.
No.
Right.
It never.
And I think, we take that, maybe strip a layer of that away, because yes, the idea of bringing people back from the dead, Pet Sematary taught us how bad that was. I like Pet Sematary 2 a lot. I know there's certain people.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
too.
Big fan of Pet Sematary 2. That mashed potatoes thing, it's just gnarly. We saw it in Frankenstein. We would see it in The Bride of Frankenstein, where they finally have this revelation. Elsa Lanchester.
Have you seen the trailer for that new Bride with Maggie Gyllenhaal, dude? That looks like hot fire, dude.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, we're gonna do that on this show for sure.
100. I mean, we should do the original Bride of Frankenstein. In my opinion, it's one of the best movies. It's one of the best movies ever made, man. But they have this revelation at the end, the monster and the bride. All he wanted was something to love, like to feel that piece of humanity. And we're always shown this image of that's what gets left behind. There's some kind of human piece, the soul, if you want to call it that. I don't know, call it something else. But that gets abandoned, and you're left with this shell of some memory, some not, but it's not the person or the thing that you wanted to get back. But that yearning was so strong that I can't accept this change.
Return of the Living Dead 3, dude. Perfect example, yeah.
Oh,
when it's done right.
Brutal, though, because she goes flying right off into the telephone pole.
Right
you
pole,
hear that, dude, that snap of her neck and back and all that. But that's the level of suffering that can be created in not accepting change and trying to change those things. And instead of being big and philosophical, I'm going to take it back like even one more layer, just to the idea of not accepting change or, change or reality. we live in a world that I don't know how many billions of dollars the makeup industry, the surgical reconstructive surgery type industry, the weight loss industry, the diet industry, all these things collectively, I have no idea how much they make together, but I imagine.
Billions.
Oh, well, I'm
Billions,
thinking
dude.
like hundreds of billions, probably. You know, when you
With the new weight loss drug, for sure, dude. The fucking shot and I'm skinny.
dude, and your boy launched that drug. I was there at the inception. It was crazy, dude. They went fucking wild, and it was expensive back then. Now you can get
It's expensive now, dude.
yeah,
Fuck.
but you could get generic versions and shit like that. Back then, it was $1,800 a month.
I honestly can't believe that it doesn't glow green, dude.
Right. The hard part is though, as soon as you stop taking it, if you don't make lifestyle modifications, you just are starving immediately, and you just
Yeah, dude.
instantly want to. But either way, all that stuff collectively is an attempt to deny the way things are. If you need to lose weight, that's cool. You know what I mean? But if you've subscribed to 11, 12, 15, 20 different fad type diet things and nothing's ever worked for you, I don't know if you really want to lose weight. You want a magic pill,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because most things.
And they're making that shit into a pill now.
Oh, dude.
So you can
I
have your
can't
magic pill.
imagine what these drug reps are going to be like. I can't. These quarterly bonuses are just based on what I used to make all them years ago. Like I can't imagine the money these cats are going to make on this shit. It's going to be nuts. Now there are a lot of health benefits to weight loss, but you also can't. I'm not a believer in like unless it is absolutely necessary, like insulin for a type 1 diabetic. You know, if you need specific maintenance medication, but I don't think you should be on a GLP-1 for your entire life just to sit because you can't, you know.
The craziest shit I saw, dude, was Melissa McCarthy was on SNL a month ago.
Yeah.
And then not like a month later, dude, she was at the fucking Golden Globes and she was like skinny as fuck. And you're just like, dude, this is
I
that like
tried it. Listen, I tried it when it first launched and I lost 28 pounds in 30 days.
fuck.
Yeah.
What dose were you on?
Fucking
remember?
normal. I don't even know. Let's see. When Saxenda launched, it was at a 1.2 milligram dose because I think Victoza was 0.4. We don't need to get into all the science of this, but yeah, it wasn't like it was just the normal, you know, therapeutic dose. It wasn't anything high. It wasn't anything though. This was when they only had you started at 1.2 and then you eventually got up to 1.8, and then that was your maintenance kind of therapy dose.
Ozempic goes up to 15, bro.
Dude, listen, and I get it. But it is this idea that, you know, like I said, health is important. Like losing weight, I think for a lot of us is important. But when it's like, I don't like that I look 50 years old, even though I'm 50 years old, I will do anything to change it.
I'd rather look like an alien than look like I'm 50. Yeah.
Right. There's all of that. And it's this kind of the same thing in the movie. You know, it's almost this, it's this very...
The Substance did such a good job at showing that, you know?
Right. And that I think even more focused on our dual nature look at age in Hollywood.
Yeah.
How nasty that shit is. But it does. But I think, you know, you read the stories even of the old Hollywood, the golden age Hollywood, some of these actresses who became recluses because they tried to do all this stuff and they ended up, even in Hollywood now, you see some people and you're like, holy shit, like it almost looks like AI. You're like, I just know something's not right. Like something there is not real.
Yeah, man.
It might be real plastic or it might be real new bones or something, but it's not normal. Like what that is seems just askew. There's something askew about it. I think it's important for us to not look at death as being so scary as they do. You know, it's like everybody in these movies, it's always like the preservation of life. To me, eternal life sounds like kind of awful.
Awful, dude. Awful. I'm ready to go like in a week.
You've said this so many times. Check me out tomorrow.
Seriously, dude. Like, I got a movie to watch tonight, but tomorrow, like, fucking take me, Lord.
Yeah, right. But it is this idea, you know, and I think Anne Rice did a great job with the Interview with the Vampire, showcasing some of that. We would see it in Let Me In.
Mm-hmm.
the idea of being stuck in this, especially as a youth. You know, you got turned when you were a kid or something, and now you got to live as a child forever and never get that look that adults give to other adults, you know, for the most part. This whole movie, this dude is obsessed with defying death. Victor Frankenstein became, you know, compulsively obsessed with defying death. So many of us become obsessed with denying death, and I think most of the time it's just, well, I don't think about it ever.
Right.
You know, it makes me feel really uncomfortable to think about that, so I don't.
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
And it's an inevitability.
It's the only, I feel like, truly consistent thing. But you can, you know, my view of it is that, you know, death is just kind of like another birth in some ways. What it's going to be, but you know, all the energy and the mass and everything that makes me up existed before the energy and mass that I have to take in, the water and stuff like that, existed before me, and it'll exist after me. I'll, you know, go on. I'm just kind of a blip on this long ass timeline of human beings. So it depends on how you look at death, but I think you do need to look at it and make up your mind about it. Because if not, it is one of the scariest things ever that people will do. I'm going to cryogenically freeze myself just in case you can bring me back.
Crazy.
And I feel we're getting close to that world where it's like, yo, do you want us to make you a robot out of you after you're dead?
Oh, 100%, dude. I think that's what they're going for. They're hoping that some of their parts are going to be robot parts.
Right.
Which would kind of be cool.
But I
Maybe
mean,
I
like
want to live
taking
forever
your
to find robot
consciousness. Like, hey, when Lil Duke Spooky, his consciousness goes, do you want us to take
That's a
your
crazy
brain?
idea.
Do you want us to take your
Yeah.
brain?
What if
or
AI could completely
remap your brain?
everything that's in your brain, put it into another being that doesn't age, and is that you?
No, because I don't think, unless it can somehow adaptively learn, but then it's a new thing.
What
Because
are
it's
we?
you plus, right? It's you plus something.
Is your meat? Is your brain meat? Is that you?
And
Is
that's
your
what
heart beating that you?
and that's the thing. If you lost an arm,
What is the thing that takes a baby and it's just this mass of just gross growing inside of you, and then one day the fucking switch comes on and it's a person?
Right. Right.
Dude,
And
that's
you
heavy.
know, and I love thinking heavy that way, but even look heavy inside, we don't fully understand, or I don't think really understand at all, subatomic yet. We don't understand.
That's the thing, is that they can clone a sheep and the sheep turns alive. So God doesn't flip us on. God doesn't flip that switch.
But that's
something biological does.
But that it's not a new sheep. It's just a copy of the existing sheep. You got to think, where
Is it though?
But what flips me out is, like, you know, the idea of subatomic particles and subatomic like realms, dude, like something so small yet so infinite at the same time. Like it just keeps infinitely like and becomes this whole new thing after you go down small.
What if our whole world is on a marble on a cat's fucking collar, dude?
That always makes me smile when I think about that scene in that movie. I'm like, awesome. I'm totally here for it, man.
Yeah.
I'm totally here for it.
Just aliens, dude, flipping our whole universe in their game of marbles.
So many episodes of the Twilight Zones about aliens manipulating human beings from afar just to kind of see how far they can push it. However, in the world we live in right now, we understand, at least my understanding is, at some point what I identify as the self will not be this version anymore. Right. Where we go from there, I don't know, but I do believe it is important for all of us as human beings to take the time to think about it and to come to terms with it and be like, hey, this is a reality. In my opinion, once you come to terms with it, it makes the rest of life that much fucking cooler because you appreciate it more. You have the capacity to be like, this is not forever. You know, I don't just want to fuck off and tell my kid to go do something else. Like, I want to hang out with them because in the blink of an eye, they're grown-ass people. You know, my oldest is going to be 20 in a year about, you know, Christmas Eve, but she's going to be a 20-year-old human being. And now, even when I hang out with her as an adult and shit, like full attention, everything, because I understand it's so temporary and so finite.
Everything is finite, dude. And if you start to look at the world with that filter on, you start to realize that like a lot of shit that you're worrying about doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
And you'd be a lot better off if you understand. I'm always quoting Tyler Durden, and I'm sorry, but he says, and I quote, until you understand that you're going to die, you are worthless.
Right. Right. I mean, and he's not, you know what I mean? Like the unexamined life is not worth living. There's something to that, you know.
If you just realize that it's all finite, it's not forever. Like that thing that you're waiting
though, I'm
to
kind of
do.
with you. Don't ever apologize for Tyler Durden. Chuck Palahniuk's one of my favorite, like, satirists. Is that what you would call it?
Yeah, totally.
Satirist, one of those. But yes, I've read so much of my man shit, and I just loves dude's perspective. You know, even when Ed Norton's just looking at the things out of the magazine show up, it's like that's your whole identity becomes bought from a, you know, magazine. Everything that you know and you feel. I almost feel like we should just talk about Fight Club one day, or we're going to have a non-horror HPE show to talk about some of the big.
We're going to have to start our HPE network, dude. We're going to have video gaming. We're going to have books.
We're getting there, dude. We're getting there. And it's all for you, though. If you're still with us, it is all for you, you beautiful souls. Because there are those people, you know, like horror's not really my jam, but I love the mindfulness shit and whatnot. Because that will be the staple. It's always going to come from a place of kindness, whatever we do. But, you know, there's so many, like I just finished rewatching the Godfather trilogy, and I'm like, dude, like some of this is, but then I'm like, oh, is it Goodfellas though, you know? And then you start thinking about Goodfellas, and Goodfellas is so good. And what about The Departed? And what about this? There's so many movies that we could pull from. So anyway, let's wrap it up. Is there anything you wanted to add to the Pause for the Living?
No, I feel like we really got to the bottom of that one.
I think I'm with you there. Okay, so for the Horror Pop Extravaganza, don't forget to like and subscribe. I have been Pops Ghostly.
And as always, I'm Lil Duke Spooky.
Do a random act of kindness, people, and we will talk to you next week.
No! No! No!
Horror Pop Extravaganza.